Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Gorden Campbell. Been a Vater artist since 2005 and loving every second of it. Currently on tour with the American Idol's Live 2010 tour. I've been a Vater artist since 2005, I believe. The sticks are incredible. I was playing another company and they were cool, but a friend of mine let me check out some of his Vaters and they felt consistent. And from his word, I just started checking them out. I started with the fusions. And I just love the way any stick I can pick up, they're just consistent. You know, some of the other sticks I've used, I would be in the heat of the moment in a show and pick one stick up and it's like a lot lighter than the other stick. It's hollow, or you know, the tips wouldn't last as long because I use wood tips. With Vater sticks, they're consistent, they last long, they don't chip as fast. Any stick's gonna chip, but they don't chip as fast. I just love the stick. I love the company, the mallets, everything. They just feel good to play with. The weight of them, they're really balanced. And you know, for me, the biggest thing is not picking up a stick in the middle of a song and it's not consistent. Consistency is the key for me, and Vater is very consistent. Started playing drums at the age of 5. At my grandfather's church in the city, Newburgh, New York. I just always loved drums from the time, as long as I can remember, from what my parents told me. I've been playing drums. Started taking lessons in 4th grade. Played in every type of musical situation that they would let me play in, from marching band, jazz band, anything I could all through school. Studied jazz at Howard University in Washington, D.C. with Grady Tate, and a couple other great teachers. From there, I got my first tour in 1993 with a group called Shy. Still living in DC, I went to college with those guys. From there, I was able to meet a boatload of people, moved to LA, and just started working. Ever since then, I've been blessed to work with Earth, Wind & Fire, Mary J. Blige, what else? Sometime I used to sub on American Idol's actual television show for Teddy. Well, it's Neo, Chris Brown, Whitney Houston, a few different movies, Dreamgirls, Be Cool, a bunch of award shows with different artists, house band, sometimes with Ray Chu, BET Awards, BET Honors, just all different types of things. Still playing at church, you know, trying to keep the funk alive. All along my years of playing drums, a lot of people know, growing up in church, you end up playing different instruments, basically. So I started playing organ, started playing bass, you know, all kind of keyboards and things, coming from a musical family also. But from there, I've always made beats, from the Roland 707, 808 to MPC, you know, now of course using Logic. But I started producing and making tracks for people. So I worked for a few different artists on the production side, some gospel stuff, the Lily Mac project for Vicky Mac, just a bunch of different artists over the years. On the production side, I'm still working on it. Currently have a new artist named Dylan Allen, 11-year-old phenom. You guys will be hearing about him soon. He signed to my company. So on the production side, I've been able to just do that and work with, you know, a bunch of different artists. What else? And it keeps my chops up musically, drum-wise too, because I'm thinking from a big picture perspective, more so than just playing licks on drums or just listening to myself. I really hear the big picture when playing with the band, you know, where I should be drum-wise. So it definitely helped expand my ear. Very important to be well-rounded, a well-rounded musician, not just a drummer, but a well-rounded musician. You have to have a vocabulary and a lot of different styles of music. For me, I've been able to work because I listen to everything. I like pretty much everything, even stuff I don't like. I listen to it and learn what makes it groove. I try to get inside of whatever style of music that it is. On a tour like this on American Idol, and most of you have seen the show, if not the tour, it's all different types of music, every style from rock, jazz, pop, R&B, funk. And in order to work a lot, you have to be well-rounded in each style, even if you're not the best at each style. I'm not the best rock drummer, but I know the vocabulary from listening to a lot of rock groups. I know the style and I can cop it, enough to be on the gig. So it's very important for young drummers and just drummers in general to be well-rounded. Listen to everything you can get your hands on, especially in this day. YouTube, Drummer World, all that kind of stuff is very easy to get a hold of anything. Sometimes I just put rock music, I'll Google it and I'll just start clicking on stuff, or I'll go to Drummer World and I'll click on some drummer I never heard of and just listen to what he has to say, and I take all that in. And it definitely aids in me being able to get calls from stuff from like movies like Dreamgirls, which was set in like 60s, 70s, kind of funk, to playing with Neo or Chris Brown, which is, the newest R&B pop stuff that's out right now. Doing last year country album with Jessica Simpson, doing it the country tour. Being able to go from jazz, funk, rock to country, you have to just basically be well-rounded. You have to listen to everything and practice everything also. Right before this tour, like a week before we started rehearsals for this tour, I was in Europe with George Duke for 6 weeks. I don't know if any of you know George Duke. He's a jazz fusion piano player, super uber producer, produced millions of pop and R&B hits, in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s actually. But on his gig, I like doing it because it's another well-rounded thing. He plays from acoustic straight-ahead jazz to the most fusioned out music ever. Like some songs we do, every bar is a different meter, 13/8, 16/8, 5. I mean, it's pretty intense. So that gig is really good for my chops. He likes us to solo a lot also, so we have a lot of liberty on that gig. Whereas this gig, I'm basically playing whatever record that we're playing. On his gig, he wants you to be you, and it helps. It's good for me to express myself sometimes. So. I'm surrounded by plexiglass. I don't know if a lot of people know about the plexiglass. What it does is it blocks the drums from bleeding into vocal mics or whatever other mics are on stage, which is normally usually vocal mics. A lot of times the lead singer would stand right next to the drums, and in order for their mic not to pick up the drums, it's surrounded. This plexiglass blocks the sound off. But it's a little weird playing with the plexiglass at first, because your drums sound one way and then you put like a wall basically in front of it and the sound bounces right back at you. So it makes the drums like double the volume as it would be. So it's kind of weird at first. What makes it a lot easier nowadays is that we have in-ear monitors. So I'm not hearing the sound as much acoustically as I am just coming straight to my ears. So it helps. But that plexiglass is definitely just to block the sound from bleeding into other microphones. Last year, can't think of the month now, hasn't been a full year yet, started a group called the Rhythm Alliance. And the Rhythm Alliance is made up of Aaron Spears, Gerald Hayward, Teddy Campbell, Nissan Stewart, Marvin McQuitty, and myself, Gorden Campbell. We put the group together. Basically, we started a few years ago. We started talking about doing clinics together, all 6 of us, because we're like brothers. Basically, we're really close friends outside of just playing drums. There wasn't YouTube, it wasn't internet when I was coming up. So the only thing that we had to learn from really was if somebody came to our town and did a clinic. Later on, as I got towards high school, some DVDs started coming out. But we learned a lot when somebody would come that we looked up to and told us, okay, play it like this, this is how I play it. So we talked about it and we put together a group called the Rhythm Alliance. And we're gonna go around doing drum shows and drum clinics and just giving back to the community. We want to give scholarships out to young drummers trying to go to college, or just young musicians in general. And it's basically the 6 of us giving the knowledge of stuff that we've learned from, and we span pretty much every style of music, gig-wise. We played with a little bit of everybody, so we think we have some knowledge to give to younger drummers, just drummers in general, on how to work in the business, how to keep a gig, and what to play, what not to play, Basically, if you see the Rhythm Alliance coming to your city, buy a ticket, come down, We'll be doing some stuff where we're selling tickets. We'll be doing other stuff where it's just giving back to the community, and we want people to come out. You know, we want to uplift drummers and musicians and bring some people to light that may not have been heard, you know, may not have an avenue to be heard or get work. We're going to try to open up some avenues for younger drummers also. Hey, once again, this is Gorden Campbell. I'm signing off. It's almost time for sound check on the American Idols Live 2010 tour. So hopefully you guys are doing well. I'll see you soon. Peace.